Welcome back to Locket in the Czech Republic for round 13 of MXGP. The final race of the day just around the corner, MXGP Race 2. A championship that is still being led by Romain Febvre. Can anybody stop him in his quest for a first world title? We still have plenty of points up for grabs, plenty of races to be won as well, but Romain Febvre is very much the man in control of this MXGP class. Race 2, MXGP, is up next. Give you some idea as to where we are if you are joining us for the first time today. We are in the west of the country, not a million miles away from the German border. About an hour and 3/4, 2 hours drive from the capital Czech Republic of Prague. It's been a glorious day here. Blue skies, semi-warm temperatures for the time of year. This 1,586 meters long racetrack in perfect condition. Doesn't look like there's much water gone on the circuit in between MX2 Race 2 and this race here, but what can this guy do here? Gauthier Paulin picked up a slight knock on his right leg in the first race after a simple slip-off in one of the corners whilst he was in third place, but he will be looking to make amends in race 2, but we will see the qualifying highlights in just a moment, of course, as always. So as the spectators and the fans here in Locket take their positions once again, we have had some great racing here this weekend. The circuit always offers up some good action out on track. Had 1 or 2 spills, but the circuit generally a success here this weekend. A lot of riders with positive comments about how technical it's been, how bumpy it's been, and how it's been opened up with more lines than it has done in previous years. But here are the highlights from MXGP Race 1, if you missed them earlier. The gate dropped, and it was Evgeny Bobryshev who grabbed the foxhole shot. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek bumping and grinding his way before he even got to the first turn, but held a nice tight line through that first corner. But it was Romain Febvre who got there in second. Boutron was third, Desal fourth, Paulin fifth, Strybos sixth. Van Hoorbeek recovered well to get through in 7th place, despite all that bar banging action going through the first couple of turns. Todd Waters was there in 8th. Just behind him was Sean Simpson, as Angus Heidecker and Dean Ferris both fell coming out of the final turn on lap 1. Paulin quickly disposed of the 25 of Clément Desal. Couldn't quite get the job done here around the outside of Jose Boutron, but a lap later, the Frenchman did eventually go through, got himself into 3rd place. Up front, though, all eyes are on this battle for the lead. Evgeny Bobryshev led for 5 laps before the 4.61 of Romain Febvre eventually found his way through at the bottom of the hill here. He went out wide, turned in tight, got a better drive coming out of the turn, and the Yamaha Factory Racing Yamalube rider was through into lead on lap 6. Bobryshev was always there, lurking dangerously in the background, though, but eventually was able to pull clear. This crash here with Todd Waters, he was lucky to pick himself up. A crossing of lines between Waters and Simpson, who managed to keep upright, and in 7th place, Waters out of the race. But Paulin just hobbled his way back onto the bike here in what was a simple crash. That right leg just taking a little bit of a bang. Eventually, he came home in 7th position, having dropped from 3rd. But riding like there was no pressure on his shoulders, as he has been for the last few races now, Romain Febvre opened up a sizable lead over Bobryshev. 3rd, though, all of a sudden, Clément Desal on his return from injury on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki, doing a great job of fending off the challenge of the Yamaha of 89, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, and the 22 of Kevin Strybos. And just behind those, in 8th place, Glenn Coldenhoff, 259 on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe machine, and the Red Bull KTM of Tommy Searle going at it as they came through the field from way down the order on the opening lap. Outside the top 15, these two guys. Eventually they came home in 8th and 9th place respectively. Tommy Searle just couldn't find a way through, though. In the end, actually, Coldenhoff started to close back in on Gauthier Paulin as Clément Desal started to pull clear from the Yamaha of Van Hoorbeek and the Suzuki. his teammate, Kevin Strybos. But Roman Febvre, though, was a comfortable winner in race 1, taking the flag 9.3 seconds clear of Evgeny Bobryshev. DeSalle was 3rd, Van Horbeke 4th, Strybos was 5th, Simpson was 6th. Right, here's Lisa Leyland. She's getting ready to speak to Clément DeSalle.
Hello and welcome to the second MXGP race of the day. I'm just on the grid and I'm joined by a man that we haven't seen for a while. We haven't seen you for like 3 rounds, have we, since your accident? Just give us an update. How's the body feeling? Have you had much time on the bike?
Not really. I didn't have so much time on the bike. I was just like 2 times on the bike last week, and yeah, I was 7 weeks like out of riding. So you know, it's no secret. You know that missing riding, yes, you miss a bit of rhythm, and also like you know the hand get, the skin and everything is more difficult. But yeah, now it's better, but still not perfect. You know, I feel okay, but yeah, not perfect like in the beginning of the season. You know, and for sure it's sad for me, and I'm still really sad about it. But yeah, no, I have to take it like this. I'm already look in the phone and do the best I can today.
But come on, you said that it's not perfect, but judging from that first moto, you really put in a solid performance. For your first race back, wasn't too bad, was it? 3rd overall.
Yeah, it's true. It's not too bad, but I just give the best I can, and yeah, it's already not so bad. But you know, it could be much better. Yeah, that's sure. But yeah, I'm already happy about it, and I didn't crash. That's really important. You know, I want to have a good feeling. That's it.
Well, good luck. Thanks for chatting to us, Clément DeSalle. There, it's great to have him back. I just want to have a word with Todd Waters. Hello. Hello. Todd, tell us about that first race, because it just looked. Well, it looked a lot worse than what it actually was, wasn't it? Just tell us about the accident.
Yeah, look, it was coming to be a good race. I started getting the momentum and feeling I've got a new 16 bike this weekend, so starting to feel really good on the bike. And Sean and I were battling, just we come together in the air, and I had a big rag dog down the hill, so it's all good. That's what happens. It's racing, and sometimes you have good ones, sometimes you have bad ones. Yeah. So we're just looking forward to Moto 2 and try and get off to a good start.
Yeah, this track series caught a lot of people out in MX2 and of course MXGP. What's your plan of action for this second moto?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a really gnarly track. It's really slick and hard packed, so with little sharp edge bumps which really catch you out. So just got to try and pay attention and you know, ride nice and smooth and try and eliminate the risks.
Best of luck. Thank you. Time for MXGP Race 2.
Well, the riders will line up then as they finished in the qualifying race on Saturday, so they'll be headed up by Roman Febvre. Gauthier Paulin will go to the line 2nd, already in position as well, but Glenn Coldenhoff 3rd, Sean Simpson 4th, Tommy Searle 5th, Van Horbeke 6th, DeSalle 7th, Bobryshev 8th, Strybos 9th, and Todd Waters goes to the line in 10th place. It's been a great crowd here, great atmosphere all weekend long here in Czech Republic this year at this circuit of Loket. Handful of riders still yet to make their way to the line. Jake Nichols just pulling in there, number 45. He qualified 19th yesterday on his Wilvo 4th rank KTM. Dennis Ulrich alongside him. The 149 on the Castrol Power 1 Suzuki. There's Bobryshev, 2nd in race 1. Ooh, alongside him is Roman Febvre. That's a tasty little matchup there. Gauthier Paulin had a good jump and got squeezed to the inside. What can Sean Simpson do from there? What about Tommy Searle on that number 100 machine? 991 there in the background on the right-hand side on the Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna factory machine. Nathan Watson barged his way past, I should say, the number 39 of Davide Granieri, the factory TM rider, on the final lap that got him into 10th place. His best result in MXGP this year. So he'll be looking for something similar in race 2, but just getting themselves psyched up, going through the final motions. 15-second board will turn to 5. Last moment to settle themselves down, get themselves ready, and away we go. Watson there in the middle, not getting a good jump and getting squeezed, but it is DeSalle. He runs wide but pulls a foxhole shot. Everybody safely around the first turn as they head through the first wave section through turn 2, and it's DeSalle who leads the way. Bobryshev 2nd, Strybos 3rd, Paulin 4th. look like Febvre in about 6th place, alongside Coldenhoff. So up and over the finish line jump for the first time then. And it is DeSalle who leads the way. Bobby 2nd, Strybos 3rd, Paulin 4th. Febvre is in 5th place. As they head uphill for the first time here past pit lane. But DeSalle with the foxhole shot as he disappears up and over the hill. Strybos there in 3rd place behind Bobryshev. Febvre, good recovery in 4th, already past Paulin and looking to go around the outside of Strybos here on the opening lap and making it look oh so easy. Here's Romain Febvre wasting no time carving his way through. So Paulin 5th. The Suzuki of Coldenhoff is in 6th place. Simpson in 7th as they start to drop their way back downhill. Tommy Searle has actually found his way past Simpson. Simpson on the in the middle now, and Van Horbeke alongside him. Then Rattray just there as well. So couldn't have asked for a better start. Commander Sally was saying in the pre-good interview how his hands were hurting. He was a little bit sore, having not raced, a little bit ring rusty, but couldn't have asked for a better, really. But Adam Wheeler joins me again on trackoffroad.com. You were just out there a moment ago. See anything interesting through that first turn?
The major news for me, Paul, is Glenn Coldenhoff getting a much better start. Winner of the last round in Latvia 2 weeks ago, was on the fringe of the top 10 in the first moto, but now, you know, kind of on the top 5, so maybe in a better position to attack.
Yeah, and he had that race-long battle with Tommy Searle as he came through, didn't he, in moto number 1. Both of them starting down in 13th, 14th place when they came around at the end of the first lap, and it was Coldenhoff who edged out Tommy Searle for 8th place, despite Searle getting close in the closing stages of the moto. But Romain Febvre, he'll take a couple of laps just to settle down. We've seen it. He hasn't been in a hurry, has he? He's riding with such confidence at the moment, Romain Febvre, in terms of, again, I keep saying it, he took that first race win at Matterley and then his first Grand Prix victory at home, probably the toughest place to go and win a Grand Prix. And since then, he's never really looked back, has he? No,
we're talking about a rider who's won a moto in the last 7 Grand Prix. So, you know, he definitely knows what to do by now, doesn't he, with that 450. Clement DeSalle leading the race at the moment, was very consistent in the first moto, but I do wonder whether he's going to have the race speed to be able to fend off Evgeny Bobryshev, who was very quick in the beginning. And Romain Febvre said he almost struggled to go with him in the first few laps, but again, it was the Frenchman who had the superior pace.
But then going back to DeSalle, I know he might be a little bit ring rusty and might struggle for fitness in the second half of the race, but he did weather the storm from Jeremy Van Horbeke and his teammate Kevin Strybos in the closing stages as Febvre takes a nice, neat inside line.
Not much room.
There wasn't a lot of room down there. But that's where he passed Bobryshev in race 1. He went wide on the berm and then slung back and got the drive up into that next turn. So obviously he knows where he can pass Bobryshev if he has to, and I'm sure he will want to, because he's a rider who doesn't want to give up. Doesn't want to give up his points unless he has to.
Yeah, sorry, Febvre was even just looking across then to see where DeSalle was. And like we said in the studio show, Paul, DeSalle is a rider with a rich history of this circuit. The last 6 appearances, 3 wins on the podium every time. I mean, it's also a pretty good Grand Prix, you know, generally this circuit for Suzuki. It was here they took their first victory in 2005 with Kevin Strybos on the 450. The RMZ 450, yep.
And Strybos took their last win on a 2-stroke as well, didn't he? 2005.
Was it 4 or?
So 2005 with a 4th and a win, 2007 with a double moto victory on the 450. And DeSalle with 4 race wins around this circuit since 2009. It's also the place where he won his first ever Grand Prix for LS Honda, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah, 2009. And since then been a Suzuki rider and now alleged to be moving to Kawasaki.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
I don't think it's one of those things you won't be confirmed until the end of the season, but I think people have stopped talking about Clement DeSalle now for a good couple of Grand Prix because it's been such like kind of general knowledge, you know, generally accepted knowledge that he's swapping the yellow for the green. And Johnny Bobryshev staying put, HRC for another season. I think that'd be a 6th or 7th in red. And Romain Febvre as well, another 2 years with the Yamaha. There's Simpson just behind Tommy Searle.
Yeah, Searle.
And Ben Horbeck's ahead of both of them, look.
Tell you what was interesting in the qualifying race yesterday, Sean Simpson getting the better of Tommy Searle, and obviously the bragging rights. Obviously there was 1 or 2 tweets out there recently, wasn't there, in terms of the Motocross Nations team announcement as Van Horbeke slides up the inside, but not for long because Coldenhoff able to charge his way back up the inside, that smooth line. But then obviously in race 1 as well, obviously Sean Simpson getting the better of Tommy Searle in that respect. But look how close it is at the front here. The first 3 riders, DeSalle, Bobryshev and Romain Febvre. Febvre starting to look interested now. Doesn't have to rush. He knows that Bobby could leave the door open at any time. Romain Febvre just had to correct his body language there, but going after Bobryshev at the end of the straight here. He'll have the outside line. He'll be able to carve his way out. Oh, neatly done there. He got out even earlier than I thought he would and closed the door immediately. So pushing Bobryshev back to third place is Romain Febvre. It looked for a minute like he would go wide and turn tight. That's exactly what he did, but just a little bit earlier than we thought in terms of the camera angle there. So great bit of riding then from Romain Febvre. Now into second position. A little bit shaky, though, coming out of that turn at the top of the hill.
And unlike in MX2, Paul, the championship picture for MXGP, a little bit more clear-cut, isn't it? Because Romain Febvre has been the rider to beat, you know, since the end of the first third of the season. So now hunting the back of the Sau. He's not wasting any time, is he? He's not.
He's got very inventive lines. Instead of hitting the straight ruts, he's just jumping across from the outside.
Febvre, I think he's going to be looking at like over an 80-point lead over Gautier Paulin, who's in 5th place at the moment. You saying perhaps he might have some sort of injury after that first moto crash, but he's worth checking out after the race. But the big test for me, for Febvre, comes, you know, in the next 3 Grand Prix, theoretically sandy. Mantover's going to be a hard place, it's still sandy soil. And then you've got Assen as well, a brand new track, you know, over the MotoGP course. That could be any kind of like, you know, surface. But, you know, Lommel, what's Febvre going to be able to do there? For me, if he takes a victory, then it's going to start to look a little bit like a formality if we can get rid of all the freak incidents we've had so far.
Well, let's take a quick look at how Romain Febvre found his way into second then. At the end of the straight, this is the angle that we didn't have, but it was always going to be inevitable that he would get out early. That's exactly what he did. Turned on nothing, used a little bit of a braking bump there just to get some traction. Romain Febvre going after Clément de Sal now for the lead.
Same place, perhaps?
Goes around the outside this time. He might try to get up there early. Not quite close enough. No, not going to happen this time around.
That move on Bobryshev had to be measured, didn't it? Because if Bobryshev made a mistake or just hopped into that corner.
But the good thing was with Febvre then, when that move on Bobryshev, he was already alongside him as he went into that turn. So even if Bobby ran on, he was already preparing to turn up the inside anyway. Clément de Sal continues to lead then, 22 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Alan Wheeler, we just talked a moment ago about Lommel, and Romain Febvre could potentially have something close to, or if not, an 80-point lead after the Grand Prix here today, going into Lommel as he loses the front end in that right-hander. And from Romain Febvre's point of view, obviously we know that Cairoli was riding injured, but there was always the hope that Cairoli would get fit enough, strong enough to be able to mount a challenge, not just here, but also in Belgium, a place where he's pretty much ruled the roost, hasn't he? So from Romain Febvre's point of view, even though I'm sure he's been riding and training hard in the sand because he's based not too far away from there, but a little bit too deep in the turn there, Clément de Sal. Romain Febvre would have liked to have banked those points in anticipation of a possible double moto victory from Tony Cairoli and the Sand Masters, but not having to worry about that at the moment, is he?
Watch here, watch. Oh, Febvre just hitting a hole there on the takeoff.
He's got de Sal right where he wants him. But this is good for de Sal, though, isn't it? 100% record in terms of finishing on the podium since 2009, of course, apart from the exception of when he didn't race here last year with that skateboard injury.
Febvre just looking for a metre or two.
Yeah,
see if he tries that same move on Bobryshev.
He might. He's close enough this time. De Sal did take a look to his outside, though, didn't he? Here we go. Same again. Runs him wide and easily up the inside. Outsmarting everybody at the moment, Romain Febvre. Clément de Sal won't like that, though, will it? Being passed by a rookie. Might just get the red mist down a little bit here.
Ferris.
Is that a crash?
Doesn't look like it. Not too dirty.
And Romain Febvre knows he's under attack here from Clément de Sal, the only rider really to mount the challenge, is he? On Romain Febvre. Oh, very close at the top of the hill. Bites right back. Well, Romain Febvre's not been used to that this last few races. He's taken the lead and normally disappeared in the distance, so it'll be interesting now between the psyche between Clément de Sal. Like I said, red mist coming down from de Sal, doesn't want to get beaten around here. Romain Febvre not used to being pushed like this. this could end in tears.
Yeah, but Paul, this is Dessal's first Grand Prix. He's had 3 off of a knee injury. He said he doesn't feel 100%, doesn't feel like, you know, ready to battle. So I'm surprised that he kind of did that. Maybe just some kind of intimidatory tactics, because Dessal's not really in the hunt for this championship. He's 6th, you know, over 150, 160 points away. You know, he's not in it. So maybe just a little bit of intimidation. You know, you're not going to, like you say, you know, he's the GP rookie, the MXGP rookie this year, Romain Febvre.
Just wants to hand him it a little bit, doesn't he, really?
Nice line from Dessau.
So, like I say, these two could just trip each other up enough to allow Evgeny Bobyshev a route back in that 3rd place look. Not going anywhere. And if Dessau is going to start to struggle with the fitness, but ride a very wide Suzuki in defence mode, then that will be playing handsomely into the hands of Evgeny Bobyshev. Nicely done there. He's going to do exactly the same thing here, is he? Different tactic, maybe?
I think Dessau's wise to it now, isn't he?
Yeah. Long race.
There you go. Good words from Manu.
Use your head, basically. Tête. French for head.
That's, I wouldn't say that's a place to really use your head and try and pass there.
Although we have seen some last lap dives down the inside of there in the past.
You know,
Febvre gets good drive. Is he going to go wide and square up the inside again here? Smoother drive on the approach.
You know, Febvre's riding so well, Paul, and you know, has that lead in the championship, but you can't wrap him in cotton wool either, can you? You know, you can't sort of say, well, don't take any risk, don't try and fight.
That Yamaha is handling so well, though. I was just watching the track as he goes up the hill towards pit lane.
And the way he moves it around as well, he does almost ride it like a 250. It's they've managed to do a great job, and considering in the winter, like we said before, he had a broken arm and a hernia. He didn't have that much time. It's not like, you know, they've gone through a studious process all through the pre-season of getting that motorcycle to a T.
This is great, though, isn't it? Febvre down the inside. Dessau won't retaliate here, but he might go and square off. But Febvre takes him to the fence. Oh. And didn't think he would get back there in time. Come on, Dessau. Oh, a little bit of cat and mouse going on. But finally, Romain Febvre gets himself back in front. Just.
I tell you what, fair play to Dessau as well.
Dessau
like
hard on the brakes. Wow, had to be as well. But like I say, fair play to Clément Dessau, taking it to the rookie. Has he spent a little bit more energy than he otherwise wanted to, though? Because if that had been Bobyshev, for instance, he might have said, yeah, OK, I'll sit there and follow you. But Romain Febvre, the surprise sensation of 2015, of course, and Clément Dessau's not really had too much time riding with him, has he, this year? That just drifting the back end as he goes through turn 1. He was so fast through there yesterday, Romain Febvre, and looks to have established himself now. It's down to Dessau to fend off the challenge from the 777, the HRC rider, Evgeny Bobyshev. Strybos 4th. So this was the first attempt.
Yeah.
Down the inside. Dessau wasn't expecting it, didn't like it. Body language straight away went, I'm coming back at you.
Yeah, he done the step
and he
down
did
here,
immediately.
Yeah. Febvre knew all about it here. I'm sure if he has a little look or is just aware of Dessau coming up alongside.
Had to back out there, look, body language. Then there was this one. Took a nice little look over, but then this is the one that finally got him in front, wasn't it, Romain Febvre, just a moment ago, half a lap ago.
Yeah, better line, more traction there, and just took the position away. I think Febvre's had enough of fooling around. He's just going to...
So 2 seconds clear, but the 25 of Dessau, Rockstar Energy Suzuki, coming under pressure now from Evgeny Bobyshev. Bobyshev second in race 1, third at the moment, but looking at getting on the podium again here.
Is that 3rd podium of the season potentially for Bobyshev?
Yeah, it will be.
Oh, on the inside, just forcing Dessau wide. Dessau also having a look behind, just wondering who else is coming.
As he went up the inside there, I think Dessau was probably thinking he was maybe going to go wider, just wasn't expecting it. But also, I think Bobyshev was looking at it going, well, you two took each other so far wide, I'm just going to run it down the inside of you. So it'll be interesting to see the retaliation here from Clément Dessau. Third in race 1, of course. Got it nice and low, parked him up the inside. Dessau thought about turning, then realised, oh, hang on a minute, flash of red. Long look back over his shoulder, more interestingly as well. Where's my teammate?
Yeah, Strybos not far away, just a couple of seconds, but then that's where he spent most of the first motor as well.
So just one podium for the year, France for Evgeny Bobyshev.
That's over the second trophy of the season then. Tied on points with Clément Dessau for the podium. So if Strybos can catch up, that might give Bobyshev...
Well, that'll change this time around, won't it? Because it will be 2 seconds for Bobby, and 2/3 for DeSalle. Tommy's down. Where's that? End of the start straight into turn 2. So that's catching 1 or 2 riders out. Right, let's have another look. Tommy Searle losing the front end or getting a kick.
Front end.
Just landing and down hard again. Tommy Searle.
Making Koldenhoff take evasive action there. Who else? Simpson going through. It's been that sort of season for Tommy Searle, isn't it? Just picking the bike up one too many times.
Yellow's there as well.
Who's
that? Just around the corner. Further round. Oh, just there, just below us.
It looked like Yamamoto, wasn't it?
It looked like who?
It might have been Kei Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, well, yeah, he's showing us coming up actually into 20th place, so I think he's already crossed the line. So I don't think Yamamoto. Simpson there ahead of Koldenhoff. So what have we got? 8 laps in. Roman Febvre leads by 3 seconds over Evgeny Bobashev. Commander Sal is in 3rd. Kevin Strybos 4th. This guy here, number 89, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. No win for him this weekend, but he's in 5th place. Gauthier Paulin just behind him, number 21 for HRC in 6th. Sean Simpson, Hitachi Revo, KTM, Art Bengtsson in 7th.
Was a Honda.
Koldenhoff in 8th, Rattray 9th, and Davide Guarnieri in 10th. Oh, look at that, deja vu. Guarnieri and Watson. Watson cleaned Guarnieri up on the final lap, about 3 corners to go.
Maybe some revenge there.
And that was for 10th place as well, so definite case of deja vu for those two. Searle is in 12th, so he has picked himself up and rejoined the race. Aranda 13th, also Todd Waters 13th now, Aranda 14th, Boutron 15th, Nichols 16th, Charlier, Ulrich, Heidecke and Yamamoto.
Been some good lap times from Simpson as well the last few, Paul. He's been in the low 150s, so running the same sort of speed as the leaders. Whether that be enough to drag him up to the back of Gauthier Paulin and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek's another thing. They're within shot.
Nicely done there.
Just having a lonely race.
But that was a nice line through there. Good improvisation from the Belgian. It's weird, isn't it? Because, you know, Strybos has had a good run lately, and teammate comes back, and straight away is looking at knocking on the door for the podium. Of course, it's a whole case of if, buts, maybe, shoulda, woulda, couldas, and if onlys for Commander Sal. But he knows, having led the championship, how close he was to leading it, and had things not happened. But you know, things have happened. But his teammate here is a little bit frustrated that DeSalle's been able just to rock up and jump on that potential 3rd step of the podium.
Kevin said he was messing around with the suspension yesterday, just trying to find more traction, change some settings on the shock. But I think it's been a story of the starts today, and that's what's let Kevin down. Because by the time he's going into his rhythm, then riders are already like almost 10 seconds away from him. There's Yentl keeping an eye on his progress.
So we've got Roman Febvre, Yamaha Factory Racing, Yamalu, leading the way from the HRC Honda of Evgeny Bobashev. The 2 Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP riders, 3rd and 4th, DeSalle, and this guy here, 22, Strybos. Then it's about 4 seconds back to the 3rd Belgian, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Yamaha Factory Racing. Yamalu and then Gauthier Paulin, again within striking distance of Van Hoorbeek. But those two pretty much as they were a lap ago, 1 or 2 seconds apart. And Simpson right there.
Jeremy Van Hoorbeek won the Grand Prix here last year, his first and only win to date in the Premier class. Maybe just would have expected a bit more of him as well this weekend, Paul.
It's only a podium here as well for Van Hoorbeek.
He did such a good job in stalking Tony Cairoli last year and beating him on the last lap. Go for CD.
Yeah. That's your team order, waved. Go for your teammate.
Suzuki's always at the front of almost every MXGP moto, it seems, but just not in the championship. DeSalle missing 3 races, like we said. I think Strybos has missed 4 or 3 as well.
I'll tell you what helps Commander Sal here, the efficiency in his riding style. Never looks like he's trying. He's always super smooth, isn't he? And for a track that's so gnarly, where you have to respect it, throttle control is the key. Body language in terms of where you put yourself on the bike. Very efficient, as I said, and I think that's what's getting him through here as well. Doesn't have to fight, doesn't have to be too aggressive, and he's not fighting the bike, whereas there's other guys there, with a different style where they are a little bit more attacky.
Yeah.
And that will, be the telling factor at the end of the day. And obviously DeSalle, as we say, abundance of experience.
And there's Simpson surviving a skirmish with Todd Waters in the first moto.
Down there.
Yeah, big crash for the Australian.
Very lucky to get up and walk away, wasn't he, in that one? But Todd Waters down in 13th place at the moment.
And Simpson heading to Lommel next weekend. Grand Prix of Belgium, we took a podium last season.
That was a horrible race last year, wasn't it? The second race just completely hammered it down.
Oh, the freak thunderstorm. But Simpson also apparently in for a factory KTM rider when he does a wild card at the Unadilla National. Just a week after, just a week after the Grand Prix of Belgium.
Yeah, we've got a 2-week break, haven't we, after Lommel? Jake Nichols down from 17th. He just got himself up to 16th place, actually.
And we said before, didn't we? Jake Nichols almost 1 year without racing, Paul. So it's.
Here's what Jake Nichols did. He just lost the front end going into that bottom corner. Out of 16th, picks himself back up in 18th, though. As Angus Heidecker goes through. And also Dennis Ulrich.
Does Sal any closer? Not so much. Looking difference of the lap times, they're 1/10 of a second away.
Kenny Bobashev, 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Comfortable in second, 5 seconds down on Romain Febvre. There's DeSalle in third, number 25. Still keeping his teammate Kevin Strybos at bay. But once again, Adam, we're seeing something of a masterclass, aren't we, from Romain Febvre, as using a very innovative line there of Kenny Bobashev.
Paul Lam was doing it in the first moto, but just maybe 5 or 6 yards further back.
Valentin Guillot did it in the second race, about 20 yards further forward.
Yeah. He was wearing his pit board at the time. After asking what he said on the pit board, he had a better view than ever.
He had to look back to read it. Bobashev. Been a good solid performance from him, hasn't it? 2 second-place finishes potentially for him. And in terms of the championship, Romain Febvre will move to 5:07. 87 clear of Gauthier Paulin.
And yeah, it's a hefty amount, isn't it? And Bobashev is a little bit coming back to form, isn't it? Because he had that silly crash in Sweden, and picked up his first DNF of the season, I think. First non-score.
There's not much in it between Paulin and his teammate. Paulin will be on 4:20, Cairoli will be on 4:16, Bobby will be on 3:89, so only 30 points, 31 points behind his teammate. What could potentially be 2 HRC Hondas on the podium in terms of the overall championship standings if things carry on like this.
Yeah, Bobashev 2015 for him has just been about a career resurrection after a couple of seasons just blighted by injury. He exploded in 2011 with his first Grand Prix win. But since then, he's just had a trail of bad luck. So if that guy got anywhere near the top 3 in the championship, I think it'd be over the moon.
And, raw reward, I guess, for his talent on a motorcycle, because a lot of people saying if he didn't ride in a certain way or didn't crash or didn't have so much bad luck or whatever, but we've seen this year with riders, last year with certain riders, contenders as well. Sometimes you just have a run of bad luck. Now you look at Jeffrey Hurlings, for instance.
Yeah.
2 years on the bounce now, losing the championship around about the same point of the season. But Evgeny Bobashev, maybe that's the influence of Jean-Michel Bayle, just telling him he was on the studio show.
I think Simpson's passed Paulin there. There's the Honda, and that was Goldenhoff behind. There you go. 24 has passed Paulin. Maybe again, like you said, struggling after that first moto crash.
It looked, where he was picking himself up, the right-hander, when they go past pit lane, right, drop down, then they've got the 3 waves. Simpson on a flying lap, his own personal best of the race there, 49.4, to get himself past Gauthier Paulin, who was probably unsuspecting, actually, probably not a mistake. But we went back to the crash of Paulin, where he was just picking himself up, and he picked himself up very slowly, but as soon as you put weight on that right leg, it looked like there was a bit of a limp motion where he didn't want to bear weight on that right leg. Took him a few corners to get back into it as well, but so I'm not, it's just purely speculative. It might have just been a dead leg rather than a tweak to the knee, but if it had been a knee and anything serious, I'm sure he wouldn't have come out. But having said that, he needs points. Cairoli's been able to ride injured and pick up points to try and keep his title aspirations alive, and obviously now deciding to throw in the towel at round 13. And then you've got Gauthier Paulin, who second place in the championship at the moment behind Romain Febvre, but already a massive 80-odd points back now.
And there's Febvre, just again like on a change motor, isn't he?
It's just incredible the way that, and like I say, how he's just covering those holes there, those square edge holes. The back end is just working perfectly for him.
And he has a 5.5 second lead, but he's still doing laps in a 1:49. You know, apart from Sean Simpson, he's the only other rider doing that.
DeSalle last time just a 49.9 look. Very similar to Roman Febvre. 9.46 and a 9.48, and unbelievably, Tommy Searle. But that was earlier on in the race. That was lap 7, so that was a few laps ago. Yeah. So 4.5 minutes plus 2 to go. A little bit spread out here. 5 seconds between the first two. Another 3 back to Clement Desalle in third. Performance of the weekend for Clement Desalle, you think, coming back from injury, Adam?
Yeah, for sure. I think he came back at a favourable track. If he had to come back next week in the sand of Lommel, it might be a different scenario. But he came back at a place where arguably it is one of his, if not his favourite tracks, then certainly he's one of his most decorated or his happiest hunting grounds, you could say.
Bobashev finished third here in 2013 with a 5th and a 3rd. Again, his only podium visit at this particular circuit. So riders that have finished on podiums certainly have a good sort of affinity, don't they, with certain circuits. Obviously not happening for Van Hoorbeek this weekend, but for Bobashev,
it's similar to Tuchenthal, isn't it? And you know that you know the Grand Prix of Germany, and Bobashev won his first Grand Prix there, like we said a couple of years ago, and Clement Desalle also won that Grand Prix last season. You know, even with a broken wrist. So there are particular types of riders, as we'll see next week when we go to the sand, and you're going to have riders like Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Kevin Stryber, Sean Simpson, who really come to the fore. They're Glenn Holdenoff as well.
That'd be an interesting Grand Prix, actually.
Yeah.
Without Tony Cairoli there, who we would normally have expected just because of his performances at Leer, up at Valkenswaard, and of course at Lommel. Everyone else, it's kind of, you know, it's theirs for second and third, isn't it? Well, now we've got a situation where, how's Roman Febvre's sand riding skills, for instance? Will we see him on the podium? Will we see him on the top step of the podium even? Will he extend his lead over Corland? Of course, the last sand race that we really went to, of any kind of note in that area, was Valkenswaard, and it was a double win for Gauthier Corland.
And it was also the worst results this season for Roman Febvre. So, you know, Febvre has got the better feeling, the confidence, the form, momentum, whatever you want to call it, you know, going for him now compared to round 4, was it? Round 5. So, you know, I think we'll see a different type of rider there. But for me, it'd be interesting to see somebody like Glenn Holdenoff, you know, first time on a 450, you know, in a Grand Prix in the sand. What can he do? Todd Waters, obviously, looking at now 47. He's no slouch in the sand either. Belgium-based as well.
Oh, yeah, I think he's done his fair share of laps around there, hasn't he?
And I think he's should be set for another year on that factory Husqvarna in the Ice One setup.
Yeah, I think he's doing enough to sort of show potentially that he's got what it takes, that podium that he got in Maggiore, of course. And then, you know, it's been a little bit up and down for him since then, hasn't it? But
Tommy Searle still circulating in 12th place. He should have Husqvarna Nathan Watson ahead of him, but by some distance.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that crash in race 1, this fella, though. Todd Waters with just under a minute and a half to go, plus 2 laps. Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna Factory Racing. Didn't make a great start this time around, but he's got himself up to 13th. Tommy Searle will wait for him to come over the line any moment now, but the gap between those two about 8-9 seconds, something like that. So Searle already over the line. Somebody getting a little bit squirrely in the background. Christophe Charlier, he's had a couple of podiums here in the past, hasn't he? In MX2 and a race win or so, but not happening for him after that start. I think he crashed at turn 1 in the qualifying race and then crashed again at the bottom of the step down here.
Yeah, bizarre crash it was. He said he didn't really know what happened, but yeah, like you said, Charlier won the MX2 moto here last year, I think.
Yeah. Well, he was 7-1 last year to get himself on the podium, but he got the podium here in 2013 as well, with the 4th and the 2nd behind Jeffrey Hurlings, ahead of Tomkov.
And the riders' top 5 pretty much split by 4 seconds each. There's quite healthy distances. The race kind of winding down, you could say. Maybe we're not going to see much of a change unless there's a mistake. But Van Hoorbeek just setting his fastest lap of the race at 1:49.8, and he's having to because Simpson is closing up.
Febvre went through with 15 seconds to spare, so it's going to be a 3-lap race before the checker flag goes out. Kenny Bobashev, I think, going back to what we said about Bobashev earlier on in terms of 2 second-place finishes here. the influence of Jean-Michel Bale. When we were talking to him on our studio show on MXGP TV a couple of weeks ago, it was just having that calming influence on him, wasn't he? Talking about that very much so, and not rushing things.
It's also with Paulin, you know, like you say, he hasn't had a spectacular season. He's only won 1 Grand Prix. You know, he's been more in the top 5 than he has been in the top 3. And it's, but that consistency's brought him up to 2nd in the World Championship, and with a real shout at the title this year. And that's what Bobichev's done. He's just been quietly going about his business, chipping away, trying to improve his fitness and speed each week, rather than thinking, oh, I've got to show something, I need to get a deal sorted and stuff like that. He's actually just, you know, gone quietly about the job, and it's worked.
Tyler Rattray, 12th in race 1, currently 9th in race 2. Must be good enough for 9th overall for the South African. Obviously, again, he's battered and bruised, isn't he, during the course of the season. He's got dodgy hips and dodgy back, and just from a career racing motorcycles, but he broke his thumb, didn't he, when he crashed in Latvia in the qualifying race, or in the first race when he went down in the first turn.
Yeah, it's a good ride from Tyler, 9th place. You know, due to retiring, there's yellow flags out there for somebody. Oh, Suzuki. Is that Koldenhoff or?
Who was ahead of him? Well, he was about 6 seconds clear. Yeah, Koldenhoff.
Well, that was a shame. Top 8. So Rattray's been pushed up to 8th now.
A little bit slow in getting going, Glenn Koldenhoff, but he's only got a couple of laps to go, so if you can just grin and bear it. Roman Febvre going through, 2-lap board going out now, but Yamaha, the back end of that Yamaha dancing around beautifully at the top of the hill, but there are 1 or 2 square inch bumps these guys need to be wary of.
Febvre's been enjoying the track.
Oh, Tommy down again. Same corner as Koldenhoff. That left-hander at the bottom of the hill before they head up, so I'm just wondering whether there's a cheeky little rut there or exactly the same place.
Paul made his favoured electric start.
Right, here's Tommy. Oh, he just got away from him. Deep rut at the top of the hill there, so...
It's just coming out of the rut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a look there by Tommy Sell just says, you know, had enough.
And to be honest, possibly didn't even really want to be here this weekend, carrying a couple of ribs, injured ribs from Latvia from that crash at the start of the 2nd race. And, you know, I guess KTM with Kenda Dyker out injured and Tony Cairoli deciding that, you know, going to call it a day for a couple of 3 rounds. Tommy Searle, really, I guess, I don't know. I'm not saying possibly bullied into coming here, but maybe even felt that he had to be here for Red Bull KTM representation in, you know, in this World Championship. So, interesting scenario that, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think he was, I wouldn't say there's pressure at all to ride, but for sure, you know, to represent as being one of the only 3 fit MXGP riders.
It's weird though, isn't it? You know, the Red Bull KTM squad has been decimated this year in MXGP with injury.
And the rumours thinking Tommy with a move away, you know, maybe even Glenn Koldenhoff riding that year. Well, maybe a factory 350 or a 450, we don't know, for the Austrians. But still being connected with other people now, like at Suzuki and you know, also Kawasaki.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get a little bit more information, won't we? Either Friday, Saturday of the Belgian Grand Prix in a week's time at Lommel. Or certainly not then it will be Monday or Tuesday afterwards. Talk to a lot of the teams and team managers, and you know, some of them talk to us in confidence and say, you know, don't mention this or don't mention that, and that's great. But there's also the speculation around other riders, aren't there? And a lot of people saying, like Jackie Martins, for instance, who was on the studio show yesterday, the team manager for Will van der Staan, Husqvarna Factory Racing, running an MX2 rider with Tonkov, but Harry Kulas in his replacement, and also Dean Ferris, who we saw out earlier on in the race. And it was interesting there, wasn't it, how difficult he found it running 1 rider in each class, just because of the logistics of it all, not being able to talk to the riders for a second time after their initial debrief in MX2, having to go out and watch the guys in MXGP, and then suddenly that whole area of neglect then, you know, in terms of preparation. But going back to a 2-man team next year in MX2.
And if you believe the rumours, then it's been decided already for quite some time. Maybe a month. There's the World Championship points at the bottom of the screen. Roman Febvre just really doing a perfect job today. 88 points. You know, that's if you can stretch that out at Lommel, Paul, that's 2 Grand Prix. You could wrap it up even before we go overseas.
And at the start of the year, when we talk about who is likely to topple Tony Cairoli, the 8-time world champion, we were all talking Ryan Villapoto, Clément de Sade, Gauthier Paulin, Jeremy Van Horbeke, you know, amongst others. No one gave this guy any credit whatsoever, and he's the guy, as we say, he stepped it up. And he's just taken it in his stride, hasn't he? And Romain Febvre on his way to another race win here. Race win number 9 and Grand Prix victory number 5 for Romain Febvre. And Yamaha Factory Racing Yamalube hasn't been off the podium since Spain. Round 6.
Strybos coming across the line in 4th place. Paul, that's going to give Van Horbik 5th.
So Bobryshev 2nd in the race, 2nd overall. De Sal 3rd in the race, 3rd overall. Strybos 4th, Van Horbik 5th. Simpson, we wait for him to come through, but he's just ahead of Gauthier Paulin here. So Simpson over the line now in 6th place. Here's Gauthier Paulin in 7th. He'll be disappointed with that. I'm sure the boys at HRC will as well. Especially when his teammate was twice 2nd. Tyler Rattray 8th, Guarnieri 9th, Watson gets 10th. Coldenhoff here, we expect him to drop through any moment now in 11th place, but a considerable margin behind Nathan Watson.
That's a double top 10 finish for Nathan Watson as well, so another personal best, I think.
Career best for him. Well, thanks, Alan Wheeler, for joining me once again here today. But Romain Febvre, 5.2 seconds clear of Evgeny Bobryshev, your overall winner here at the MXGP of Czech Republic. So just a quick recap then. Romain Febvre wins the race, and it's a double moto win for Romain Febvre. The second of his career, because he was a double race winner in Sweden as well.
Romain Febvre, congratulations, you've done it again. 9th race win and 5th Grand Prix victory so far this season.
Yeah, you know, I'm so happy. First race was a little bit more easy. The second, I need to battle with De Sal, and we make some pass. So it was really hot, and I enjoy so much to ride like this. And you know, I cannot thank enough my team. They did a great job every day, and you know, it's I can feel it, and I'm so relaxed when I ride. So I hope to continue like this till the end.
Congratulations.
An 8th race win of 2015 then for Romain Febvre, a 5th Grand Prix victory of the season as well. He's not been off the podium since Spain, round 6, and it gets better and better for Romain Febvre as he continues to pull clear of his rivals, Gauthier Paulin and Evgeny Bobryshev. Tony Cairoli out of it at this stage as well. So a great day for Yamaha Factory Racing Yamalube, once more in the hands of this kid here, 461 Romain Febvre.
Po zranění paráda, belgické vlajky, ruské a tady také francouzské. Strybos to zkoušel, ale...
Grand Prix confirmation then, Romain Febvre, your overall winner, Bobryshev 2nd, De Sal 3rd, Strybos 4th, Van Horbik 5th, Simpson 6th, Paulin 7th overall, Glenn Coldenhoff 8th. What about Nathan Watson this weekend? 10th overall behind Tyler Rattray, and Tommy Searle was 11th. Boutron 12th, Guarnieri, Ulrich, Charlie 8th, Heidecke, Waters, Nichols, Bengtson, Ferris, Aranda, Kircher and Yamamoto, your point scorers this weekend.
No a průběžně, dámy a pánové, příznivci motokrosu, Febvre jasně ještě si navýšil náskok
Championship. Romain Febvre now 88 points clear of Gauthier Paulin. Cairoli 91 further back, and then Bobryshev moves up ahead of Max Nagel. Did that in the first race as well. But what a day for Romain Febvre, not only winning 2 races for the 2nd time this year, but a massive 88 points now over Gauthier Paulin. Foxhole shot. Clement de Sal, Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP. Not a bad way to announce your return from injury. Hey, the smile's back. Good on you, Clement. Nagel has 8, Coyote 6, Febvre has 3 of those Foxhole shot black plates. Time to go down to the podium though, round 13 of MXGP, the MXGP of Czech Republic here at Locket. And third overall, riding the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP machine, Clement de Sal, back from injury, and in the rounds of his finish, you know, right up until the French round, the only time he's been off the podium was in Spain with 4th overall when he had that crash in Moto number 2. But it's 3rd overall here for the Belgian. Looking forward to listening to his interview. But Evgeny Bobashev, Team HRC, 2nd visit to the podium, twice 2nd now. The last time was in France at Villars-sous-Écot. But your overall winner, Romain Febvre, Yamaha Factory Racing Yamalou, will stand on the top step again for the 5th time this season, his 2nd double. Mino Raspanti, the team manager for Yamaha Factory Racing Yamalou, will of course pick up the winner's trophy on behalf of Yamaha. So 3rd overall, Clement de Sal, Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP. Zdeněk Bednar, the mayor of Locket, handing him his crystal bowl. He'll be pleased with that, especially with the Belgian Grand Prix in a week's time. Evgeny Bobashev takes his 2nd place trophy from Jan Stovicek, Auto Club CR. The Czech Republic. And your overall winner, Romain Febvre. Juri Savenka, Karlovy Vary region, handing him another, it's his 5th Grand Prix trophy in MXGP, his 5th in 2015. Starting to build up quite a collection now. Mino Raspanti takes the winner's trophy on behalf of Yamaha. Teresa Horonova handing him that modest piece of crystal. Tony Skillington, the FIM CMS director, though, hands another red plate. That's what it means to him. Romain Febvre continues to lead the MXGP World Championship. And he does so by extending his lead from, 66 points over Gauthier Paulin to 88 points. The top 3 then, Romain Febvre, Evgeny Bobashev, Clement de Sal. National anthem, though, for Romain Febvre and France. Romain Febvre wins for France. Yamaha win once again. National anthem of Japan.
Now, manufacturer national anthem for Japan. Takže to je vše. Máme za sebou vyhlášení poslední třídy MXGP.
Romain Febvre, Yamaha Factory Racing, Yamalu, victorious again in 2015. 5 Grand Prix victories now for the Frenchman and his Yamaha team. Kenny Bobryshev second for the second time this year, and Clement Desalle, Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP on the podium for the first time on his return back from injury.
Romain Febvre, congratulations. Another double moto win for you. Sizable gap that first race, but you gave us a great battle with Desalle in that second moto. But the main thing is you've extended that lead and you still got the red plate in your hand.
Yeah, you know, the first moto, the start was okay, but yeah, I was third or second, and I could pass, maybe it was Bobryshev, I could pass, I could pass quite easy, and then I went away, not easy, but more easy than the second moto. The second moto with Clement was really, every corner we patched each other and was really hot, so I love that racing, and you know, I cannot take son of my team, they did a great job, and the championship, it's again, I extend the points lead, it's a good point, so we will see. In Lommel it's different, it's a big sense, so we will see there.
Congratulations. Evgeny Bobryshev, second overall of the Grand Prix of Czech Republic, second podium of the year as well, 2 solid second place finishes. A return to form perhaps?
Yeah, I was feeling great today. I had a good start. This was important for me today. We done with the team lots of changing since Saturday, because yesterday I had a bad day, but today was everything fine for me. I was staying on 2 wheels, and really big thanks to HRC Honda, to all the crew, all the people who believe and was supporting me today. I was happy today, really happy with my riding, especially second race, and 2 solid both races, so it's really good today.
Thank you. Clement Desalle, good to have him back on the podium after a few Grand Prix away. Third overall today. You have a great battle in that second moto.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm really happy to make the hot shot. This one I was waiting for a long time. I'm happy to be back, and I'm sad about my season because it started really well, and I had an injury and I had to stop, like you say, a few GP. I'm happy also that I make some lap in the front. That was really good feeling, And I have to progress again because it was 7 weeks without the bike, just 2 times last week on the bike. So yeah, it's good. I'm happy for the moment.
Good to see you smiling. Thank you.
Well, that's it for MXGP. Romain Febvre, Evgeny Bobryshev and Clement Desalle, your top 3. But join us in a week's time when we go to the MXGP of Belgium at the notorious sand circuit of Lommel. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.